Forged from the love of liberty in the fires of hope and prayer, with boundless faith in our destiny, we solemnly declare, side by side we stand, islands of the blue Caribbean Sea, this our native land. We pledge our lives to thee. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation.
Heavenly Father, we come before you at the start of this new day, giving thanks for life, for health, and the opportunity to serve through this station. We ask for your divine presence to guide us in all we do. Bless this broadcast, that it may be a source of inspiration, joy, and unity to all who tune in. Whether near or far, may our words uplift, our music heal, and our message bring light to those who need it most. We pray for our listeners wherever they may be. Grant them strength for the day ahead, peace in their hearts, and success in all they put their hands to. Cover those traveling with your protection and those at home with your comfort and provision. Lord, may everything we do bring honor to you and be a blessing to others. Guide our steps, bless our efforts, and let this station be a vessel of positivity and hope. In your name we pray. Amen.
Your voice, your soundtrack, your station. New Era TT Radio. Net Radio.
Hey, get down. Yo, I see her and I want her. I got to have her. Hey. Parang so nice and parang so sweet. Wind up your waist and dance to the beat. Inside the parang. I don't want no sorry Lord ginger beer. I ain't drinking them thing this year. This Christmas all I want is a Spanish woman from Paramis. Digo Martins in a rematch. Donna Puna from Lopino and Los Pajos. Don Maracas, Rampanaicas. I see her and I want her. I got to have her. Oh, yeah. Get there. Down there. Ah, yeah. Give me. I tried all them other woman before. All other woman. But them Spanish mujer is all I adore. Them Spanish woman. I like to see them when they walk and whine. The full love and tenderness is so fine. You know how to cut and how to contrive to keep their family alive. So this year I want to take home a Spanish woman from Aruga. banana, from branches, bring them in here. From a repo, sangre chiquito, Spanish royal, cocoa paya, I see her, and I want her, I got to have her.
And for your interest, she is Spanish.
You're lying.
Rise up. It's the Net Radio Breakfast Show, bringing you the energy, music, and vibes to start your day right.
Who day? Hey everybody, who day? Good morning to you. Blessed Monday morning to you, and thank you very much for being here. If you're wondering where here is, just in case you're wondering where here is, it's New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
I want that Spanish woman.
It is the heartbeat of the Caribbean. We take you above and beyond. I'm so glad to be in your company. I want to say much thanks to the Heavenly Father for bringing us together for another day. And all that we do, dear God, let it be a blessing on to you. Trinidad and Tobago, good morning. Neighbors in the Caribbean, good morning. Friends and family who are streaming all around the planet, good day. And of course, thank you so much for getting up with us. It is a blessing. It really, really is a blessing. Of course, I'm yours truly, Sir Charles, in your company. Happy am I to be here with you as we welcome you inside. Undoubtedly is our Get Up and Go. We welcome all of you to the breakfast show.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The breakfast show got the vibes turned on. From Maracas Bay to the Savannah line. Let's start the day in Caribbean prime. Good vibes rolling through the air. The breakfast show, energy everywhere. We talk, we laugh, we make you think. Grab your doubles or your morning drink.
All right, beautiful Monday morning, Trinidad and Tobago, and listeners and viewers all over the globe. It's an absolutely, this weekend was actually a very beautiful weekend, weather-wise. I binge watched a series on Netflix called Reacher. I don't know if you all know it. But yeah, we're here, we're happy to be in the land of the living. I have an extensive birthday list. So I'm gonna do that quickly. I don't know if Richard will join us today because he was running foul over the weekend, I guess.
The Folk Cup was running all over the place.
Yeah, and Richard was running behind it, running corn, wherever he was running. Man, he was running, huh? All you know. And Stella Kirby Scott, happy birthday. Suzanne Williams, she used to be at Republic Bank. Well, first Bank of Commerce and then Republic Bank. Michelle Ile, she lives out there in Texas now. Edwina, I know has. Carol Charles, former councillor at Tunapuna Piako Regional Corporation. Kim Francois, Hafiz Ali, he used to be a government senator at one point in time. Marissa De Pisa, Michael Alain, Big Mike De Toxman, Arian Samuel. Woo, lots of birthdays today. Denise Oliver, I don't know if she's related to Michael Oliver, who messages us. So they are all celebrating birthdays today. Today, of course, is the second and last day in the month of September. 3 more months to go, and well, I think it's 100 days to Christmas. It was 100 days to Christmas just recently.
Well, boy, I don't know. That's not to measure it, but I can't remember exactly when the 100 days actually is.
You know why I know that? Because I'm coming down the road this morning very early. I'm on the road 4 o'clock this morning. and I'm listening. I just searching radio stations, and I'm listening, and then I don't even know the station. Whatever they wanted to celebrate 100 days of Christmas.
100.
I ended up on that station because they played Christmas music, and they played that tune that you just played. One of the best soca prank tunes ever in Trinidad and Tobago was that tune you just played. And I turn up my volume loud. I don't generally listen to loud music. I turn it up loud. And I jammed that Spanish woman by me.
You jammed the Spanish woman.
Oh, God.
Your language is... you turn it up loud and you jam the Spanish woman.
Yeah. I jammed the Spanish woman this morning. But let me tell you something. There was a man from the previous breakfast show. He didn't like that tune at all. He used to message and say all kind of things. I don't know. I said, but like, I don't know, some Spanish woman gave a bad experience.
Yeah.
And he didn't. I think he was from Mayaro. I don't know if he listens to us now, but he didn't like that tune at all.
Serious.
Bad Spanish woman experience. But
yeah, but the 100 days I've been told would have been like around the 16th of September.
So early?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yes, 100 days to Christmas.
Christmas is December 25th, not so?
Yes.
So that's 25. And then we have November, that is 30, that is 55. And then we have October, that is 31,
right, that's the next,
that is 86.
Right, and then you're at 16.
Oh, yes, you're right. So you're right.
Yeah.
86, I'll bring in the 14th or 15th of September.
Yeah, the 16th.
Ah, okay. Somebody saying the 23rd, but that's when they started the 100 days. But how, well, that's 7 and 31, 38 and 30 is 68 and 25. Now that you're dropping short of 100 when you go from the 23rd. It had a deal yet. Yeah. All right.
16,
all right.
The 16th.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, we got off to a good start this morning with that tune. I'm sure you wake up everybody with that.
Yeah. Because as I said, we're going into that period, so we're starting to dot it. We're not going fully as yet where the music is on the net, but we are actually just dotting it along the lines into October, because October is also Calypso History Month.
Yes. So we have a lot of Calypso to play in October.
Yeah. So we gotta go and find some real old classics for you guys to listen to. Calypso History Month is a very special time, and so you can look forward to that. And then from November we will start to go more fully into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
I think I used to perform at Christmas concerts in school. I used to actually sing, and one of my favorite tunes that I used to sing was the Christmas song, which is Chestnuts Roasting.
Yeah.
I used to sing that almost all the concerts, and frosted window panes, candles gleaming inside, painted candy canes on the... I used to love Christmas in school, especially.
It's a nice time. It's a real nice time. It's a nice feeling, you know. Regardless of all, like everything else, there's always people who don't like it, and they will have an opposing view to it and chime in and all. But at the end of it all, I think the whole transformation, how people feel and look at it, it's such a wonderful feeling.
Yeah.
Really
it's a time of the year too when all religions, I think, celebrate Christmas. I don't know that any. Maybe I think the Jehovah's don't celebrate Christmas. I think I have heard that.
Yeah, I
don't know that they all don't. Maybe a few don't. But it's such a joyous time of the year, especially when you're giving and you're hanging with family, because Christmas time is a time for family. We do it. We enjoy one another's company around Christmas time.
Okay.
I actually used to travel for Christmas, take my family and go somewhere, but because I know some people would have had bad memories because they may have lost a loved one around that time. you know, some bad accident or something. So they have bad memories of Christmas. But generally, I think everybody enjoys Christmas.
Generally, I think so too. Most people do.
Yeah.
But let's get into our good news.
Yep.
Pools at Rocky Point with towering jagged rocks, sheltered coral-filled inlets, and crystal-clear channels is a hidden gem on Tobago's northwestern coastline. We arrived at Back Bay just before sunset, and the water there was already clear and pristine, like a teaser for what was to come. We walked the full stretch of the beach towards the far western end, passing large scattered rocks until we reached Rocky Point itself. Once there, massive formations rose sharply into the air. Their peaks seemed as if they're cutting into the sky in a dramatic fashion. On either side of the salt pools were two small sheltered inlets, each with a tiny beach and an abundance of coral and marine life beneath the surface. I sent out the drone and the view was breathtaking. The setting sun lit the jagged rocks ablaze, and the water beneath them shimmered in shades of turquoise and deep blue, revealing corals and submerged rock formations below. We sipped into one of the inlets first. The water was calm and inviting, perfect for a quick snorkel and to admire the marine life up close. We met two other visitors also enjoying the pools and made new friends that gave us the courage to explore one of the channels. The water there was astonishingly clear yet surprisingly deep, with sunlight piercing through to illuminate the rock walls and undulant sand below. This was one of the most exciting parts of the evening, especially being able to dive off the rocks into the deep waters. It was definitely an incredible adventure with one of Tobago's most stunning natural spots, all wrapped in the warm glow of the setting sun.
Where is that? St. Charles?
Tobago.
Tobago. Okay.
Yeah. I think they said the northern side of Tobago. I'm not too sure exactly, but I saw the video. Why no, actually? And I just felt it there. I said, you're going to have a day like this when Richard don't come on after get You know, Richard, you sort of plan for these hiccups.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So
Richard had to get somebody who could dance and cheer up and for Monday too. You see that Friday woman dancing there?
Well, now we get a Friday woman, you know?
Yeah, they get a Monday dance.
Yeah, but that area it's really nice, you know what I mean? But you know me, I don't take chances with water, especially water that I'm not accustomed to. You hear the guys say part of it is it's very deep. Yeah. So you have to be careful in those kinds of things.
Yeah.
But yeah,
good news. Yeah. Of course, I saw, I don't know if he's still here, but the president of Guyana was actually in Trinidad on Saturday.
Okay.
I just happened to be, I went to a little a child's birthday line at Hyatt on Saturday. I was invited to come down and I went there and I'm looking at the man, I said, why do you look like the Guyanese president so? He was sitting by the pool, on the pool side, with I don't know if it's the person who resembles him, so it might either be his sister or his mother.
Oh, I say, not sure if it's actually him.
No, I'm sure it's him. I was sure it's him. You know what I mean? And when I mentioned it to the group that I was by, they say, you know, they're seeing him there all the time and they're thinking he looks familiar. I say, yeah, that is the president of Guyana, Finale. And eventually he went by the poolside. He went to the water. He had family there too. You know what I mean? And then people like this started recognizing him because he started to pose for pictures with people after, including one of the people in who I was living with, Marcia Miranda. Morning, Marcia Miranda. She got a picture with him. You know what I mean? But it was interesting seeing him just there relaxing, you know?
Hey.
He was just...
Yes, nothing to Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, clearly it wasn't announced. Nobody knew that he was here. Well, I mean, publicly. Maybe he just came in for a family gathering because it looked like he had family there. And he went into the pool and had a bath and then he came back out and started posing for pictures with people. Like when people realized who was there, then they started to go and get pictures with him.
Okay. Yeah. That's good. So people, that is our good news for today.
All right. Now we could greet the people in the chat. Let's see who came in first today. Felix Cazo at 12:57. Where Miss Mendoza? She couldn't wake up this morning now. Good morning, gentlemen.
She stayed up and listened to Sappy Sundays yesterday, so for sure she was tired.
She tired.
Yeah.
Suzanne Jessup, good morning from Suzanne, Suzette, and Mrs. Gemma. Brennan Smith from Goodwood in Tobago. Margaret Thomas, Michael Cadet, Ava Smith says blessed morning to Richard Wendell and Sir Charles. Our apologies for Richard's absence, as he said he was running foul all night. Erica Charles, thank God for sparing our lives to see another beautiful day. She from over Eunice Dublin. Boy Bidesi from Davie. Anne Noel says good morning from Oshawa, Ontario. Slick Money Grip. Grace Smith, I love my country, God bless. Cheryl Johnson from Malabar in Arima. Ozzy Molino. Marlon Motley from North Valsane. Michael Mapp, Sherwin and Juliet Kerr from Arima. Robert Taylor from Fernandina Beach.
Good morning, Robert. I got that one right.
Was that sorry?
I got that one, Robert.
You got that one. Right?
Yeah.
Julia Batiste, GH, started messaging us lately. Carol Guevara from Chaguanas, Rena Buru Jennings from Pity Valley, Diane Payne from, I don't know, Gavin Frank from Powder Magazine, Trinidad Margot from Florida, Pearl and Stacey Ann Codis from Brazil Village, Ingrid from Tucson, Arizona, Wayne Ramsey from Fort Lauderdale in Florida. Wayne, I have my mug, still, sorry I couldn't make it this weekend coming in. Margaret Chow, good morning, guys. Have a fantastic day. Claire Lendo Rollins, Odell Guy from Sangre Grande, James Kamau, Bernadette Yates, and of course, Nelicia Yates, David McCarthy, CJ from New York. CJ, how is the weather in New York? And thanks for reaching out to my daughter. Lambert Bruce from El Dorado, Kathy Ann Charles from Cascade, and of course, Arlene in Bronxville, Texas. Mrs. R says good morning all. Joyce Phillip, Alistair Hart, Mrs. R is confirming the radio station. And Doreen Pierce says good morning. Joyce Phillip said yes, it started Wednesday, gone on September 22. I think they may have started a little late. Helen Prescott, Andre Reno, Suzette Jessup. This is the twin of Suzanne.
Yeah.
When you bring out Christmas songs, you have a nice voice. Thank you very much, Suzette. I actually received an award for my singing one year, way back in the day. Alistair Hart, wow, so beautiful, sweet TNT. Anthony Miguel, good morning, gentlemen, from New York. Sankofa say, I do not like this Western thing called Christmas, for which information is so much. Okay, then okay, Sankofa, you're playing a Grinch today. You're being a Grinch today, Sankofa. Debbie Modest says, morning, guys. Beauty Culture, good morning. Okay. All right. Yes, Sankofa, your birthday is coming up on the 10th of the 10th. Micah Ray, that's a new name. Good morning to
you. Michael, good morning.
Micah, M-I-C-A-H, Micah.
Micah.
Micah, yes.
Okay.
Or Micah, I don't know how you pronounce it. Maybe Micah.
Might be a
Debbie
good.
Modest. Jaron Joseph says good morning, and Sankofa is chatting away, hitting the road early to bless up all, give thanks. All right. Your fam, just keep in mind, I am your family through the World Cup bloodline. So true.
Right. I suppose.
Yeah, my mother is a World Cup. Well, was a World Cup.
Your mother was a World Cup also?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
yeah.
My mom also.
My mother and his mother actually share the same name, Cynthia Walker.
Well, okay. Oh.
Yeah. All right. Produce Micah. Okay, thanks, Micah, for giving us that correction. So those are the people on the chat. So Charles, I don't know if you have any.
Yeah, well, that is why I didn't see Dabity there, because she was here on the WhatsApp at 1 a.m. So good morning to Dabity. Good morning to Zena, who was up very early also. Good morning to Kent in Laventel, Terry and Peters in Mover, Archbishop Ashton Clark over there in Canada. Horatio Services, good morning to you, Horatio. Mr. Beeps and the Pity Valley people, good morning. Brenda in Penal, I said Zena, early there. Good morning to Zina and Arima, Mr. Billion Powder Magazine, to Nick, wherever Nick is from. Good morning to you. Ron DeSantis, Virginia is here. Captain Ron is here in Orlando. Fifi is here out of Addis Ababa. Good morning. Joyce Phillips, good morning to you people and all of the other persons who did not send in a text or just listening this morning on newerattradio.com or taking us in on Gael. We are happy to be here with you guys.
Mm-hmm. Let me also say a special good morning to a young man who I met on Saturday at the IR too. As soon as I looked at him, I said, he looks familiar. He is a Facebook friend, so someone I don't know personally and I've never met before. But as soon as he looked at me and I looked at him, he watched me, he pointed at me, and when else even Ashok Jamal. So good meeting you finally, Ashok Jamal. He is a Facebook friend. He comments and posts a lot of stuff.
It's always nice when you meet the listeners and people who are there and outside listening and following. It's always a nice time.
Yeah.
Always.
Had a lot of people on Saturday. Like they had some functions, but people were dressed up. A lot of people were dressed up. I don't know if it's a wedding or dinner, some sort of thing, but people were dressed to the hilt.
Yeah, but we're going into dinner time too. Talking about Christmas.
Yeah. And there were quite a bit of people too around the poolside. So it was Lemuel's 6th birthday party. That's why I attended. So good morning, people, and Richard, again, we apologize. Richard may join us at some point.
Yeah, let's hope he makes it up. He sent us a message around 2:00.
Yeah, but our guest today will be Member of Parliament for San Fernando East, Brian Manning, former Minister in the Ministry of Finance. He will be our guest in the next hour. He'll talk fiscal issues and, of course, local government too, because he specifically had some issues he wants to raise concerning local government. And that's my pet topic, because over the weekend I saw an article, just before you get into the ads, Charles. I saw an article where apparently Minister Kennedy Swarat Singh went to the parliament and in response to a question from Senator Faris Alwari, he said that local government corporations received funding from the property tax. And
property tax, yeah.
Where did that come from? But I don't know that it was challenged in the parliament. I'll find out that today. But I did reach out to quite a few people, and they said, no, they have not. I reached out to the mayor of Port of Spain, the mayor of San Fernando. I reached out also to the head of Tunapuna Piaco. And they all said, no, they know nothing about that. They've received no funding. I also reached out to Minister Khadija Amin, who also responded to me. I won't give a response, but I was thankful that she did respond. And so they need to clear that up. That needs to be cleared up. Hopefully when we speak with Mr. Manning, we try to get the head of Tunapuna, because Josiah Austin, who said that, in the article it says that they received the bulk of the money from the property tax. And he issued a release. He knows nothing about that. So I don't know where that came from. All right.
Well, I'm happy. I'm happy Mr. Alwari responded. I would also like him to respond to tell us what happened, why the Jack Warner situation fell apart. All right, but maybe he will get to that at some point in time. I know he's busy. He's very busy. We're coming back.
Don't miss Furniture Plus Inventory Blowout Sale. Get up to 65% off in-store and online. Enjoy massive savings on furniture, appliances, and more. Hurry, this deal won't last. Shop now and save big at Furniture Plus.
Uh-oh, guess what day it is? Guess
Charmflair Auto Services Limited, your one-stop auto repair shop, located at number 1 Industrial Lane, Charmflair, right opposite the brewery on the Eastern Main Road. Yes, we do it all. Repairs to all makes and models, from your everyday sedan to SUVs, light trucks, pickups, and panel vans. We're also the sole distributors of Davangere tires, certified VTS inspection station, plus a wide range of services: oil change, front end and suspension repairs, tune-ups, tire alignment, batteries, electrical work, radiator and cooling system, AC repairs, and accessories galore. We offer pickup and drop-off service too. Call us today at 662-6545 or 662-6572. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Charmflair Auto Services Limited, number 1 Industrial Lane, Charmflair. We do it all.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
Okay, so back. Couple of things just to note, Wendella, before we go forward. People, just to let you know that we have an additional phone line that we have added to the studio, right? So, you were normally calling 281-1315. Well, now you can also call us on 299-5153. So you have 2 lines to get into the studio. We could only still take 1 person at a time, but at least
I'm not gonna say.
Yeah,
they would think they get it too faster,
Yeah. But at least we have another line that you could try to get in also, right? So please take note of that. And also, just after the poll situation, just to know where you are, and we really would like you to be part of this, because we have 2 tickets to give away for Richard's play next weekend. So yeah. So just after the poll, before we get into the guests, we're going to steal a little 2 minutes there in that little space, and all you have to do is to call us and tell us your name and where you're from. So I'm Shamin, I'm calling from New York. We'll hold the ticket for whenever you can be in Trinidad and Tobago, don't worry. All right? And you get your name registered. You could do that once a week. And on Friday, we're going to have a draw, and we're going to pick a name, and that person is going to get the 2 tickets to go and see Richard play next week. And that's expensive ticket, real estate we're talking about. That is expensive real estate we're talking about. Ticket for the foul cock.
Foul cock run.
Right?
Running cock.
So remember, just
What
after.
kind of names you could call it?
Yeah. So just after 7 o'clock, we will. All you have to do is call, say your name and where you're calling from. That's all you need to do. Hang up, all right? And we'll see how many people we can get in between there.
Great. When are we doing that today?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Just after the poll. We're gonna steal 2 minutes just to do that. And we're timing it.
Okay, great.
Right, we got
So
the
the
time.
news today, of course, today is Monday, September 29th, and the headline in the Express reads, "Breakfast shed shuts down." Oh Lord, I better get that yesterday for me. Food vendors owing almost $2 million in rent.
Wow.
So says the article. And as I said, everybody started to send that to me asking if it's true. Well, guess what? It's true.
It's true.
Wasa promises more water for Tunapuna. That's on page 7. Kumal goes missing again, and apparently this teacher. He's a teacher. Kumal Maharaj.
We had to put we had to implant a tracker on him, boy.
Yeah, it looks so, because he was missing already in 2024. Now he's missing again. So Kumal, where are you? Cops slam TTPS, hands in badge. That's going to be the subject of our poll today. A police officer who apparently his mother had gone missing, and it was reported that she committed suicide. He's convinced it's not suicide, and he said the police never responded to his pleas. So he walked into the police station as a police officer, handed in his badge and ID, and walked back out as a civilian. He said he done. He had enough of the TTPS. Well, boy, Mr. Bidesi, I wish I could nominate you for an award, but I can't. So that's for the front page. Also, they are employees of Tan's Gourmet as they clean the kitchen, as they prepare to close up shop down at the breakfast shed. In the back, budget warning: economists don't use HSF for recurrent expenditure. And the people who are doing the warning is Professor Roger Hussain, Dr. Botirari, and Dr. Indira Sajiwan. They are all thinking. The COP, the Commissioner of Police, also issued yesterday some curious comments that the TTPS had no role in cancelling the Independence Day parade. Now, if you remember, the government announced on August 15 that the annual Independence Day parade would be replaced with a national day of prayer and reflection due to the ongoing state of emergency. Right? But who caused the calling of the state of emergency? The TTPS the commissioner has already admitted he did, right? Based on intelligence. But he said he had nothing to do with the cancelling of the Independence Day parade, right? So those are all stories trending in today's Express. So Charles, you could do the...
Yeah, okay. So in the Guardian, of course, the same situation. The grieving cop quits TTPS. Also, aspiring businessman shot dead near home. A teacher who was abducted last year goes missing again. PM vows to tackle brain drain at Diaspora Forum in New York. Budget date likely to be announced this week. I thought that we had gotten that. Anyhow.
Well, we got S is October 13th.
Oh, no, it wasn't official.
It wasn't confirmed, but we get a little inside info that is October 13th.
Yeah, we have sources.
Yeah, plenty sources, you know.
Well, once you news, you must have sources. Good morning. Cop inflated costs led to scrapping of the body camera contract. I thought it was because the police don't want none. Mom seeks more help for daughter's surgery. Duke mourns the passing of his dad, so condolences to Watson Duke on the passing of his father.
I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, the Children's Authority boss raises red flags over low foster care rate. And Tanku wants review of container examination fees. All right, and those are just some of the 1,000 headlines in the Guardian. The Guardian has some rare headlines, you know.
Yeah, let me do the news there quickly. Ex-cop shoots 2 men in Aruka, and that's a very curious story. Apparently, men were parked up in a car outside his home, and he came out on his veranda, and he shot them. The story doesn't say that they announced a hold up or they tried to come in his yard. And he shot them, and apparently when he recognized them, he went and dropped them to the hospital.
He recognized them?
Yes, that's what the story said.
Wow.
The story is in today's. It's a crazy story.
That's
That you come out on your veranda and you assume the men up to no good, because that's how the story reads. And
but that is something else, man. Yeah.
You open fire on them.
Talk about stand your ground.
What? But they're out in the road. Anyway, MSJ criticizes PM's speech at UN, and we'll have the head of an MSJ before the end of the week. TKR doesn't deserve national award. Alexander, Camara's contract cancelled to save funds. Yeah, right. Trinidad and Tobago economy shrinks by 2.1%. Mariano Brown warns Trinidad and Tobago's credit rating at risk. And Venezuelan armed forces gun found in St. Helena. All right, those are all trending stories, of course, in the news day today also. All right. So the story we want to focus on, well, one of the stories we want to focus on, to do a poll on, is Police Constable Russell Bidesi has turned in his badge following his criticism of the police service handling of the death of his mother. In a post to social media yesterday, Bidesi said he had made the decision to resign the previous day and handed over his badge and police identification card. I told them in the station, book me in as a police and book me out leaving as a civilian. I don't want no part of this entity again. BDC said after he handed over the items, the police came for his uniform. They couldn't come when my mother was missing. They get instructions to come for my uniform, and that instruction would have come from Port of Spain by the top, highest level of supervision. I want to believe, or the most senior person within the division who has not even reached out to me to see my well-being or how I'm doing, but they could send people for uniform. I couldn't care about that uniform. I done give up my badge already. The newspaper reached out to BDC several times by phone, but all calls went unanswered. Deputy Commissioner of Police Suzette Martin, in response to the newspaper inquiries, said BDC was still a member of the police service. She added that she was awaiting a report from Senior Superintendent Kelvin Thompson. He said based on BDC's utterances in the post, he had adopted another course. According to the Police Service Act, an officer who intends to resign shall send by registered mail or deliver a written notice of his intention to resign to the office of the commissioner at least 1 month before the date on which he wishes to relinquish his appointment. But the commissioner may waive the requirement of notice in whole or in part if he thinks fit. It further stated that an officer is not entitled, except with the permission of the commissioner, to withdraw his notice of resignation. So, Mr. BDC, you have to do all that. You can't just hand in your badge and your thing. But we'll pull that. It's interesting.
Yeah. So this is what he said here.
And these are the points I've been trying to make. I made a decision yesterday, and I handed over my badge and ID. I told them in the station, book me in as a police and book me out leaving as a civilian. I don't want to part of this entity again. Yesterday evening, I'm not upset of the actions. Lo and behold, this morning, the police reached here to retrieve uniform. They couldn't come or go and look for my mother. Yesterday evening, I drop off the badge. They come this morning for what? For my uniform. They couldn't come when my mother was missing. They get instructions to come for my uniform. And that instruction would have come from Port of Spain by the top highest level of supervision, I want to believe. Or the most senior person within the division, who have not even reached out to me to see my well-being or how I'm doing. But they could send people for uniform. I couldn't care about that uniform. I don't give up my badge already.
No. Isn't that strange that if there's a process for resigning, a man upset, he's in grief, his mother died under tragic circumstances. He in grief, he's a police officer. According to him, nobody reached out to him. He bring in his badge and his thing and he say, I done with that. Why would you send for the uniform then? If you know that he didn't even follow the correct process. Advise him, says, listen, you know, this is what you need to do. I mean, so nobody in that station reached out to that man and his mother died? Nobody? Mm-hmm. That is, the TTPS is hopeless. I'm sorry to say it so.
That is a situation. But that is where our poll will come from today. We're going to poll that for you guys, how you guys feel about it, right?
But we could open up the lines and take some calls. Morning, Larry Charles, Cheryl Henry, DL, Colton Finch, Beauty Culture. They all joined the chat. Anthony Tinto also to join the chat since we greeted the first set of people. So good morning and welcome to the breakfast show. All right. And yes, DL, you're going to get something from Rumbok soon. Don't worry ahead. All right. So let's open the lines. We have two lines, as we said this morning, 281-1315 or 299-5156. Right?
Yeah.
Call us now. You know.
Right. So you can give us a call, and we'd like to hear from you. So you can call us on any one of the numbers, right? I must note also that the 299 number is not for messaging. continue all the messages on 281, right?
Yeah.
But you can call us on the number.
281.
Yeah. 281 is for messaging and stuff, right? Okay. You want to be scampering all over the place. Caller, good morning to you. All 1 minute for me, caller. 1 minute there. Right. Right. Good morning to you.
Morning.
Morning.
Morning, caller.
I'm glad you called early, you know.
Yeah, you know how to chime in on this one, right?
Yeah,
of course.
So, in spite of that, where it just played, there's a even more shocking audio, which I have, of him speaking to the inspector in the station he was attached to. And he was outlining that the inspector had disrespected him before in a WhatsApp group that they have. All these divisions have these WhatsApp group for communication and so on and so forth, right? And in the audio, the inspector told the man, he said, he said to the inspector, you are my leader, you are not even offering any leadership, you're not even seeking after my welfare. And the inspector told him, and he told him, I am not your leader. I am here to see the interests of the police service. You understand what I'm telling you?
Yeah, I heard that.
Going through that situation, and that is what he told the man. So you see where the crisis of leadership is? The inspector is in charge of the station and the police station district. And in my time, there's a part of the Police Service Act that says a senior officer is responsible for the welfare of the officers under his command. So if you don't have your welfare as somebody under their command, you think that the welfare of the police service of the ordinary citizen like you and Sir Charles and myself in hand? Yeah. Because if it were the welfare of the men and women who tasked with protecting and serving with pride and carrying out instruction and keeping them safe, how you could have the welfare of me, the ordinary citizen at large? We don't know. You're seeing these men and women every day. And you tell me, man, that? Yes. So when I heard that, I was shocked, and I would dare any senior officer to say that was the correct behavior from the inspector. And also in the audio, he said prompting another officer who was probably nearby to be his witness. And I tell you, gentlemen, that is not the proper procedure when you're dealing with somebody who has a problem. It's supposed to be on a one-on-one basis, confidential, and you take certain action. We just inform seniors in the division, well, listen, I believe Sir Charles has a problem, he's not able to function. I would recommend this. Emergency leave be granted to this person, and you refer that person to the police service, social welfare, or social workers, and see how they can assist that individual. And it's clear from other videos that this man made, he had problems. He should not have been on the job.
Yeah.
And there's just one all over this police service that is going on.
Yeah, sad to say.
Yeah.
Sad.
Thanks very much, officer. Good to hear. Our retired officer there that's chides us in and keeps us updated with process within the police service.
Yeah. I mean, Mr. Bidesi, I feel it for you. Especially after losing your mom. I feel it for you. To get that kind of reaction from the very service that you belong to. I mean, but it's the first time I think I've ever heard a police officer taking that type of action, though. I've never heard or seen that in Trinidad and Tobago before, where officers say, take back your badge and your ID. I don't want to be part of this organization anymore.
All right. Lincoln, good morning.
This police officer, good morning, gentlemen. This police officer just made it one of my favorite police officers that I've encountered. There was one soldier that I hold in high esteem. I met him yet a couple of months after he left the organization, and he said I leave it or he trained me, as a matter of fact. He said, I leave it or I said, why did you leave? He said, I found God and I cannot serve God and serve the regiment. And I had to have that man at the top of my pinnacle of my respect for that purpose. And this officer also made the top of my list as well. Because And the last gentleman said it all, right? That particular organization, and the regiment too, fails its members in terms of personal welfare. All they care about is their pension, making themselves look good.
Promotion and pension, the two P's.
Huh?
Promotion and pension, the two P's.
They could care less about the men under their charge. And this police officer has exposed it, and I hope a lot more does. Also, you see how dangerous this stand your ground law is. And I'm surprised I'm not in the news. Part of that article didn't say this man was arrested and charged immediately. Right?
Yeah, well, that's the part of that we didn't get that part. If that has happened, but that should have happened.
Up as journalism in this country. That's why I don't use the term journalism. I just call them reporters.
Reporters.
All they do is come and report what they hear.
Okay, no problem. Thanks very much, Lincoln.
As Lincoln raised that, Sir Charles, let me just quickly. There was a report too over the weekend of a shooting. Police shoot at it came out on Friday that police engaged a man in Sangre Grande, I think. I see the man from Buena Vista Street in Arima. That is my street. I don't know the man at all. But anyway, he engaged the police in a shootout whilst driving. He driving the car and shoot at the police with an AR-15. How is that possible? I don't know if that had to be bad reporting, because that's not possible. That he can be holding an AR-15 and shooting at the police whilst driving. Of course, the police shot back at him and killed him. You understand? That was another police killing, I think, on Friday. You know?
All right there, Wendell. Kola, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning, Kola.
I want to thank that caller before Lincoln, how he explained that situation with that gun. You know, we are lucky, or the people in his area, lucky that he handed his weapon, you know. That could have turned nasty. The state of mind,
I don't think they mentioned weapon, eh?
What is that?
Yeah, they didn't say weapon, but at least uniform.
So what he went and carrying?
His uniform.
His badge and ID. That's what the article says.
Badge and ID. Oh,
yes.
And then they came for the clothes.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
Right. Well, whatever. He is in a state. Oh my God, it's terrible. I want to say something up to Kurt Mayhew. Kurt Mayhew, as a PR person,
yeah, but be responsible, please.
At all, because he is saying one thing. He's trying to stir up a bacchanal with penalty beckons out there in the UN, and thank God the Prime Minister, she pat it down. She said, I have no problem with her being here. And I saw a picture came out with her, although she was in the back of the picture.
Yeah.
But she came out, she said it's a free country and she was invited. But Kurt Mayhew trying to make a bacchanal. Oh, Jesus. Look, Kamala Prasad said, so see if you could get a new PRO. Have a blessed day, y'all.
Yeah. Well, I say politics for you, right? Caller, good morning to you.
Context in which they refer to the Caribbean being a zone of peace.
Yeah.
As long as you mean you don't want to war, right? I don't know how our internal affairs, with how many murders we had last year and how many we had in 25 years, relates to being to the zone of peace and war. Our Prime Minister didn't even condemn the situation in Gaza. She didn't even ask for the lifting of the embargo against Cuba. She didn't even ask for a solution to the situation in Venezuela. Nothing she said about any of these atrocities and things. All the other Caribbean leaders commented on it. And I find her address was important. And then coming after to talk about Chudi at 15 minutes and things. If you had a minute, you would have been able to deal with that situation. No comment about anything.
We don't have a foreign policy stand on what is going on in the world. I was disappointed.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, thanks very much.
A lot of editorials came out concerning that particular speech. A lot of letters and comments came out concerning the speech that the Prime Minister made about the Caribbean is no longer a zone of peace. Because she's comparing, I guess, the issues of crime in the Caribbean and crime
interpretation
with war. It's not the same. Anyway.
Yeah. Virginia, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, Sir Charles. The new number, that's only for texting, right?
No, this is your texting number. That's only for calling. Mm-hmm.
The new number is only for calling.
Don't text anything to that number.
Good morning to you all. Morning, Wendell. How are you doing, Mike?
Morning.
The police officer, I feel it for him, and I think some retired or maybe active, I think more retired defense force people had calling and giving their sentiments. That has been a problem within the services in general in Trinidad during the time I was there. When I was in Trinidad, and I don't think it ever changed. I remember I had a very good friend, her dad, and she didn't give me permission. So, but he was actually once chief of staff, and then he became the head of one of the defense force units as the not commander-in-chief, but the chief of defense staff. And I remember when she was complaining and she was saying, "Oh yeah, when I go to daddy and he doesn't, have time to take me on when I have to deal with my problems." She's talking about boyfriends and stuff, right? And she said, "But if one of those idiots come from whatever," and I said, "How you can say that?" And she's talking about enlisted, people, folks in the defense forces. And she said, "If one of those idiots come crying, sure, he kick up one time for one of them." But you know what? That's what true leadership is all about. And I want to say, I have a feeling under Captain Griffith, this might not have happened. But again, I don't know. But just in closing, I just want to say that this chief of defense staff, Wendell, it may be worth looking into. You could verify, but I tell you for a fact, all his other 5 brothers served in all 5 branches of the U.S. military. Isn't that something? And they're from Trinidad.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Thanks very much, Virginia. So the poll is up. People, when do you want to tell them what the poll is?
Yeah. Do you support the resignation of this police officer? We would have played the video. We would have read a bit of the story. You would have heard about it by now, that a police officer turned in his badge and his ID and said he had enough of the police service because of the lack of support on the death of his mother. All right. Do you support the resignation of the police officer, Officer Bidesi? Right. That's his name.
All right. Mr. Patrick, good morning.
Good morning. All good.
We good.
Talk about thing morning, whoever is, come to work early. The policeman, right? I want to be really working in the police service because I don't believe the police and them could be so heartless. I mean, your mother died and nobody visited you. Nobody come to say something, boy. The Welfare Association.
Yeah, none of your batch, nobody, boy.
Nah, man, something wrong with that, boy. Something wrong with that. And my Prime Minister in the UN, boy, you man, fire, boy. What going on here, boy? Oh Lord, Father, help us yet. As a little nation, help us.
Yeah.
All right, we will talk about that later.
No problem.
Right.
Thanks very much, Mr. Patrick. So we went up to the news. So you can continue to vote on the poll. People only put in yes or no first, please, and then the comments after, right? And also when we come back after the poll, we want to give you the opportunity to win 2 tickets for Richard play next weekend. We ain't ask him as yet, but we taking the liberty. All right. So you will call. All you have to do is call us and tell us your name and where you're from. That's all you have to do. We're doing that after the poll for a couple of minutes, right? So we will be back. Stay with us on New Era, TT Radio and Gaia Caribbean.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is Net Radio News Now.
This is News Now on New Era TT Radio and Guile Caribbean. I'm Derek. Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar has been voted the People's Choice for Caribbean Global Leader at this year's Caribbean Global Awards in London. She topped a field that included Barbados' Mia Mottley, St. Vincent's Ralph Gonsalves, Jamaica's Andrew Holness, and Guyana's President Irfan Ali. Gonsalves placed second and Motley third. Persad-Bissessar could not attend the ceremony, as she was at the UN General Assembly in New York. But in a recorded message, she dedicated the award to the people of Trinidad and Tobago and the wider Caribbean, saying unity is the region's greatest strength. She called the honor especially meaningful because it came from the people and urged leaders to lift up vulnerable children, stressing that resilience is the Caribbean's inheritance. Acting Prime Minister Jerlian John has hailed Kamla Persad-Bissessar as a brave patriot for her bold address at the United Nations. Speaking from New York, Persad-Bissessar rejected the notion of the Caribbean as a zone of peace, warning about drugs, guns, and human trafficking. John said the Prime Minister told the world the truth and urged CARICOM leaders to reflect on the threat of gangs replacing governments. She added that Persad-Bissessar's bilateral meetings signal that Trinidad and Tobago is open for business, with interest from Qatar, Kuwait, and the UAE. John, serving as acting prime minister for the first time, also brushed aside talk of UNC succession, stressing Persad-Bissessar remains firmly in charge. Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar's statement at the UN General Assembly that the Caribbean is no zone of peace has sparked mixed reactions. She argued the region faces violent crime, gang activity, and narco-trafficking, praising U.S. military support against cartels. Political analyst Dr. Winford James disagreed, saying Venezuela has not attacked its neighbors, and the PN's language implies war. International relations expert Dr. Anthony Gonzalez said her support of U.S. lethal strikes against traffickers raises legal and humanitarian concerns. However, political scientist Dr. Bishnu Raghunath partly backed her, noting TNT's unique challenges, porous borders, and over 100,000 Venezuelan migrants. He questioned what Caribbean leaders really mean when they call the region a zone of peace. Several vessels seized by the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard have vanished without explanation, raising serious questions about accountability and oversight. A board of inquiry was ordered last year after two pirogues, Tell Me and Emmanuel, disappeared from the Coast Guard's Hearts Cut base. 16 officers testified, but insiders say little came from the probe, aside from staff transfers. Sources reveal these two boats are just the beginning, with as many as 10 others also missing from secure compounds in recent years. Some vessels have reportedly been repainted and even sold while still in custody. Officers warn that without a proper inventory or secure storage system, seized vessels, often key evidence in drug or human trafficking cases, slip away unnoticed. Both the Defense Minister and the Coast Guard's commanding officer have so far failed to respond to questions. Police Commissioner Alistair Guevara has reached his first 100 days in office, and reviews from the public are mixed. A Newsday poll found many citizens say they feel safer since Guevara assumed duty in June, praising him as a boss and way better than his predecessor, with some even crediting him for a drop in crime. Others said it's still too early to judge, stressing that he does not have a magic wand, but has shown strong leadership so far. However, not everyone is convinced. Critics argue nothing has changed in policing strategy, with some saying they feel just as unsafe as before. For now, Guevara's stewardship continues to divide opinion between those encouraged by early progress and others waiting for real results. The Court of Appeal has dismissed Uticot's challenge to a $1.8 million compensation award for a former employee, upholding the industrial court's ruling that her dismissal was harsh and oppressive. The case involved Sharma Ramatarbudu, whose 2016 termination was brought before the court by the NUGFW. The industrial court awarded her $1.8 million, finding she was unfairly treated. Udicott appealed only the compensation amount, but Justices Mark Mohammed, Rani Budu Singh, and James Abood ruled that the Industrial Relations Act bars appeals on both findings of harsh dismissal and the remedies awarded. Delivering the judgment, Justice Budu Singh said the industrial court's decision was careful, detailed, and well supported, describing Udicott's actions as egregious and utterly unfair. Finally, in international news, Russia launched a massive overnight assault on Ukraine, killing at least 4 people and injuring more than 70. Kyiv was hit hardest, with a 12-year-old girl among the dead. Ukraine's Air Force said Russia fired nearly 600 drones and 48 missiles, with most intercepted, but civilian areas, including homes, a medical facility, and a kindergarten, were struck. President Volodymyr Zelensky condemned the attack, saying it showed Moscow's determination to keep fighting. Poland scrambled fighter jets as the strikes reached western Ukraine, raising concerns about spillover into NATO territory. The bombardment comes just a day after Zelensky announced a major $90 billion U.S. weapons deal to strengthen Ukraine's defense. And that's news at this time.
That was News Now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Join me, Brother David Muhammad, every Tuesday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. here on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio, Powerful Radio. Join me to hear knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Tuesdays, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. here on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
The mid-morning just got better. Join Sir Charles for the mid-morning mix and mingle, where good music, real talk, health, and family matters come together, and your voice is heard. Whether you're at work, on the go, or just taking a break, this is the perfect mix to keep you engaged, informed, and entertained. The mid-morning mix and mingle, weekdays, 9 a.m. to 12 noon on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Mornings just got better. You're locked into Net Radio Breakfast Show, fueling your day with the best music and real talk.
En esta noche buena
right, everybody. And of course, good morning to you once again. And of course, welcome to the Morning Vibes on New Era TT Radio and Gael Caribbean. I want to say a very special good morning to all the folks who are joining us on Gael Caribbean. And Gael people, or they can call us, or they can message, right? Okay, right. We're looking out for you guys. You're part of the family now. So people remember, you can pick us up all day, every day. We stream on newerattradio.com. Also, New Era TT Radio. You put it in your browser so you can get us on TuneIn and, of course, all your Alexa and Google devices. Yes? And, of course, look out for the Drive Time Exchange with Tony Fraser. Tony is on between 4 and 6 p.m. in the afternoon in our Drive Time Exchange. Today we are talking, we're starting Calypso chat because you know we're into Calypso History Month, right? So Tony has a number of persons he'll be talking about, all our veterans and pioneers of the Calypso art form. So yeah, look out for that inside of the Drive Time Exchange, right? So continue to vote on the poll. Remember, yes or no, that is what you are voting on the poll. And also, just after the poll, you have the opportunity to win yourself 2 tickets for your Don't Leave Forward to Watch Corn. That's happening next weekend, right? So we have expensive real estate we will be giving away. All you have to do is call us, give us a name, and tell us where you're calling us from. And at the end of the week, we're going to do a draw on Friday. After we collect all the names. And we're going to pick somebody and they're going to get 2 tickets to go and see Richards play next weekend. Yeah? So stay with us. We are coming back.
Charm Flair Auto Services Limited, your one-stop auto repair shop. Located at number 1 Industrial Lane, Charm Flair, right opposite the brewery on the Eastern Main Road. Yes, we do it all. Repairs to all makes and models, from your everyday sedan to SUVs, light trucks, pickups, and panel vans. We're also the sole distributors of Davante tires, certified VTS inspection station, plus a wide range of services: oil change, front end and suspension repairs, tune-ups, tire alignment, batteries, electrical work, radiator and cooling system, AC repairs, and accessories galore. We offer pickup and drop-off service too. Call us today at 662-6545 or 662-6572. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Charm Flair Auto Services Limited, number 1 Industrial Lane, Charm Flair. We do it all.
Pay $1 down on hire purchase plans at Furniture Plus. Enjoy fast approval, low interest rates, and up to 36 months financing. Retirees, self-employed, and permanent employees apply today. Buy now, pay later with Furniture Plus credit plans. Conditions apply.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
We are back after our 7 o'clock news, and so
Yes.
if you could put up the poll again there so we could repeat it and people could vote whilst you're counting, right? You ready to count too?
Yeah, give me 1 minute. Remind them of the poll and what go ahead with it. What caused it?
Do you support the resignation of the police officer, that's Officer Bidesi, who handed in his badge and his ID? He said he does not want to be a police officer anymore because of the treatment of the TTPS, and more particularly his senior officers, in terms of when his mother went missing and subsequently passed. He said he got no support from them, and he decided he had enough. All right, do you support his resignation? So as soon as Sir Charles ready.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yes.
Right. Josie Richardson, no. Margaret Thomas, yes. Rena Jennings, yes. Jason Samuel, yes. Miguel Gonzalez, no. Ian Stewart, yes. Michael Mapp, no. Crystal Stevenson, no. Anthony Atwell, yes. Ricardo Jeffers, no. Diane Payne, yes. Boy Bidesi, no. Brennan Smith, yes. Ron DeSantis, yes. Claire Lendor Rollins, no. Patricia Reed, yes. Ava Smith, yes. Beauty Culture, no. Joyce Phillip, no. Whoever Chance Soka feels, you don't get to decide how we do things on this show, unfortunately. You could make recommendations, but you don't get to decide how we do it, right? Slick Money Grip, no. Lester Cragwell didn't vote. Ingrid from Tucson, she said yes. Truth set you free, no. Chansoka Field, whoever you are, we don't tolerate libelous comments on this chat. If I had the power to remove your chat and ban you, I'd do it already. Okay? Marlon Motley, yes. Cheryl Henry, yes. Where are we? Kelcha Cambridge, yes. Michael Cadet, no. CJ from New York, yes. GH, yes. That's it. Those are the votes I have on the chat.
All right, and so let me tell you, I'm trying to tabulate and score at the same time in my head, right? Okay, so let me get back, scroll down here a little bit. Have a little patience. Right, so I have Brenda saying yes, and Judith saying yes, Long Islander saying yes, Captain Ron saying yes, Fifi saying yes, Mahi saying yes, Slick Money Group, I'm not sure what you're saying, Samson saying yes, I have Dabadi saying no, Joseph Clement saying yes, Terry-Ann Peters, what is your vote? I'm not too sure. Kurt Edwards, yes. Another person saying no, and one other person, Kent, is saying yes, and Mr. Billy, what is your vote? Oh yes, all right. So that is it. Any other?
I have one more yes from Eunice Dublin.
One more yes. I don't.
You can count and crumple it.
All right.
So Richard is excited to give away these 2 tickets.
Really?
Really.
Right. So we had 36. Am I counting right? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 40, 45. 46 people voting on the poll this morning. And we have 26 people saying yes, and 15 people saying no. So 26 saying yes, yes, the yes have it. 15 people saying no, they do not agree with the policeman and his actions.
That's 41. That's how much is it?
Yeah.
41, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I heard you say 46 people. All right. So that's it. The yes have it. Is that what it is?
Yeah, the yes have it. 41 persons. Okay.
All right.
So that is it for the poll. Right.
So more people supported him resigning than people who didn't, right? And clearly he needs counseling, and he should, hopefully the TTPS welfare division or whoever really reaches out to the young man. He clearly is distressed. Come on. Can't do people that.
Okay, so we have a couple minutes that we're going to take while we wait on our guests to come in. Right, so here what you need to do. You need to call us right now. All you need to tell us is your name and where you're calling us from. That's all we're looking for.
And give your real name, not like whoever this some of these people on this chat. Give your real name, right?
Yeah. Okay, and we will we'll take your calls. So, Wendell, you have a time on you? Put a time on it quick.
Yeah. I have a timer. The timer
Right.
on.
We're giving them 3 minutes.
The timer at the top of the screen. So let's go.
All right. So let's go. See if you could win yourself a ticket. 281-1315, 299-5156. Good morning to you, caller.
Yeah, good morning. Ken from Laventille.
Nice. Okay. Ken from Laventille on the inside. Timer running, people. Come on, see if you could get your name in the box. At the end of the week, we're going to see how many people we could get on the inside there to go and see Richards play on Saturday or Sunday, right? I'm not too sure exactly where he going Saturday and Sunday. And I remember he talked about it. But
it's back. I think it's back to Central Bank.
He might be back at Central Bank, right? Okay. Good morning, caller.
Hello.
Caller. Oh, my bad, dear caller. I didn't engage you. Right. Good morning to you, caller.
Good morning, caller. Good morning. Joyce Philip from Chamflay.
Nice. Thank you very much, Joyce Philip from
Chamflay. To the cat.
Yeah.
All right.
Give us a call. Get your name in the box. You can just get yourself to go on this expensive real estate that we're giving away at the end of the week. Good morning to you.
Yeah, morning, Patrick Billy, Powder Magazine, man. Always cool.
All right, Patrick Billy, Powder Magazine. And the clock is ticking. See if you can get your name inside of here. Very quickly. 281-1315, 299-5115. 50 seconds again? Yeah. All right. So Wendell is counting down, right? Wendell, keep the count going. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Terry and Peters, Charles from Mover.
All right, Terry and Peters from Mover. Yeah, all right, we're going again. Yeah. Caller, good morning. Caller, good morning.
Hi, good morning. Good morning, Debbie Modest.
Caller, good morning. All right, Debbie, where are you calling from?
Good
morning. Debbie,
good morning. Good morning.
What area are you from, Debbie?
Debbie Modest. Coconut Drive, Mover.
Mover. All right. Thank you very much, Debbie. Wendell, how are we looking at?
We have 5 seconds left.
5 seconds. All right. 4, 3,
2, 1.
All right. Okay. That's it for today. But don't worry about it. If you didn't make it in today, you have tomorrow, you have Wednesday, you have Thursday, all right? And the good thing about it is that the people who are inside, you don't have to try again. Your name is inside. So it's just a matter of the other persons now coming on the inside.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Well, our guest is here, Wendell.
Yes, but let's bring him in.
All right. So let's get into our Let's Talk video.
Yeah.
Where is he? Good morning. That don't look like one would replace.
No.
Good morning, Mr. Manning.
I have not moved in.
How can see some of the libelous comments in our chat here? Potentially libelous comments.
Trust me. Later on this week, you will see this might be one of the largest defamation lawsuits in the history of Trinidad and Tobago.
Look where you want to bring it.
Yeah, but if these guys want to pay off my mortgage, I'm happy to let them.
I don't blame you at all.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't blame you at all.
I have never had any relationship with the receiver. He never reported to me ever. I've never met the man. I don't know him.
Yeah, it's sort of like to provoke bacchanal. But that's part of the politics, sadly.
That's the way
sad part of the politics.
Yeah.
You know?
You just have to be prepared for it because it's going to happen.
Yes.
Right.
Anyway, welcome to the breakfast show once again, Brian Manning. And I know
How have you been, Mr. Manning?
Well, good. I mean, there's a lot of work to be done within San Fernando East and also nationally. The parliament has recently been reopened after a bit of a break. So there's a lot going on at this point in time. So I would say good, but busy.
Right. How are the preparations going for the opposition response in terms of the budget? Of course, a budget date has not been announced as yet.
Yes.
But I mean, a lot of news are coming out in terms of fiscal policies, in terms of the possible downgrading by Standard and Poor's. I'm sure that you have opinions on that.
We believe it is inevitable at this point. What happens when there's a new government? The international rating agencies tend to give a grace period, so they would not immediately downgrade you as a country. But what they had said in their report was telling. They're asking the same questions we were asking. Where are the revenues coming from? Where is the foreign exchange coming from? What are the programs? And the UNC, for the past maybe 2 decades, have gone out of their way to undermine and to destroy every single foreign exchange generating project and opportunity and diversification that the People's National Movement have been attempting to implement. And that cannot be denied. I'm talking about from the smelter to the hotel in Tobago, Sandals, from any project. One of their agents, when we were trying to get foreign direct investment from an energy company, told them take their rig and go. That would have added hundreds of millions of dollars in US dollars to the economy of Trinidad and Tobago. They come into office now, they cancel the Dragon deal. They cancel the reopening of the Point-de-Paix refinery, which was all ready to go with Owando from Nigeria. All of these projects were meant to add additional foreign exchange to our supply and to create jobs for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. The UNC, knowing that they went out of their way to undermine all of these, had to create this boogeyman called a foreign exchange cartel, which even their own central bank governor has said does not exist. It does not exist. It's an excuse for what they have been doing in the past decade and a half. And sadly, the people of Trinidad and Tobago are the ones going to have to suffer for it.
Yeah. The issue of the cancel is well, I don't know if it has been repealed, the Revenue Authority. What is the situation of that? Was it ever repealed?
It's the first thing they did. The first thing after the election we came to Parliament was the bill to repeal the TTRE. And again...
But was it in fact done? Because Richard has his doubts about that.
It was done. The first meeting of the Parliament after the last election was to repeal the TTRE. And the president of the PSA has to take a lot of responsibility for this. The TTRE, contrary to what it is certain people have been selling, was designed to ensure that everyone in this economy pays their fair share in taxes. And if everyone paid their fair share, it means that all of us would eventually have a lower tax burden each. In this country, the poor do not pay taxes on income, right? Under successive Payneham government, if you make less than $7,500 monthly, you pay 0 in income taxes. So, and then if you are wealthy, if you're a business owner, or if you're a professional who owns their own private practice, you have the ability to dodge taxes, to not pay taxes. All of us would have an experience. You go to certain places for services, and they would insist that you pay in cash. You can't pay with card, you can't pay with check, you can only pay in cash. And that is because those people are dodging paying taxes. So who is carrying the tax burden of this country? It is people in the middle class. It's public servants. It's all of us who receive a salary from an employer, all because we can't dodge taxes. When I get my check at the end of the month from the Parliament, all the taxes are already removed. I don't have the opportunity to say yes or no, I don't want to pay. But if I am a business person, there are ways for me to avoid paying taxes. And that is what the TTRA was supposed to close, that gap between those persons who have not been paying and those who cannot avoid paying. The UNC destroyed that first thing. And from day one, I said, the day they destroy the TTRA is the day that this country is going to, 1, slide into a recession, and 2, probably be downgraded by the international agencies. The TTRA was expected to add $10 billion of additional revenues to the coffers of the government of Trinidad and Tobago. $10 billion in money owed to the government. And they destroyed it. So who do they want to blame for that now?
Yeah. You get the impression, though, based on the comments of the Minister of Finance, Mr. Tanku, that some sort of revenue authority is in the making again. Because how else are they to collect taxes?
I don't know about that. That's not what I've heard from him. He is, to me, what he's been saying, as I said previously, is pure gobbledygook. He's just trying to offer you a word salad of things that don't make any sense to try to skip and dance and avoid the actual issue that this government cannot generate additional revenues, because all of the projects that were designed to generate revenues were scuttled by this government, whether it's property taxes, which we can now see desperately required for local government activities. Local government has essentially collapsed in the past few months. We have areas in San Fernando East where there's no garbage collection, no drain cleaning in the middle of the rainy season, and there's no road paving. Nothing is going on because they simply don't have the revenues to do it, and they don't want to come out and say that. Yeah. And it is because they are underfunded, and it's because they have undermined the property tax collection system, so it cannot be used for what it was intended to be used for.
Yeah. As you raised that, there was an article over the weekend. I think something happened in the parliament. A question was asked by former local government Minister Faris Alrari to Minister Kennedy Swaratsing. I don't know if he was answering on behalf of someone concerning the property tax and the distributions to the different municipal corporations. And he had I'm going based on the article. The article had said that corporations had in fact collected
they had received funding from the ministry.
You lost you on camera, Brad.
I'm having a charge issue here. I'm getting it fixed. Right? Yes. I think there was some error was made there, whether by the minister or by the media, I'm not sure, but certainly the corporations have not received any funding from property taxes. Property taxes would have been collected because the People's National Movement had been supporting that, but there was no distribution of those taxes to the various corporations. Yeah. That simply has not happened.
Because the article points out that from Minister Swaratsing, he explained the money was then distributed to the 14 municipal corporations in Trinidad, as well as the Tobago House of Assembly. He reported also that the Tunapuna Regional Corporation had the largest total property payment of $23,231,000. So this is incorrect then.
Yes, what may have been the truth is that they would have had the largest collection of property taxes, but certainly not the largest disbursement of property taxes. There has been no property taxes disbursed to the various corporations. And that's what property taxes were meant for, to underpin local government activities, because we understood the challenges in funding these activities. It would also make it more convenient, because if the local government agencies had this pool of resources available to them, it means that they did not have to go to the parliament, didn't have to go to the minister of local government or go to the minister of finance, didn't have to go to budget, didn't have to go to cabinet, it didn't have to go through all of these levels of bureaucracy simply to fill a pothole in your community, or to pave a road, or to clean a drain. And it was totally unnecessary. And that was the whole point of property taxes. And from what we have seen so far, they collected about 130 residential households. In total, we have about 300,000 residential properties in Trinidad and Tobago. And they collected, over almost $200 million in revenues. Imagine if we had gotten it completed and had everyone paying a small amount, one of the lowest property tax rates in the hemisphere, the kind of advantages that would have given to local government issues at this point in time. I get complaints from areas of San Fernando East, Union Hall, Corinth, Taradale, no garbage collection whatsoever. And of course, when the rain falls, that same garbage that has not been collected goes down into the drains, clogs those drains, and causes flooding in areas where there wasn't flooding before. Well, it makes no sense.
I'm on record as talking about local government reform as a whole. So I'm on record as saying that, right? Because I've been around so long, and I've heard the term reform for so long, but yet still, here we are, No local government. Local government is still not protected by the Constitution of Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
Despite my many contributions to different consultations,
Yes.
it's still not protected. So I'm not even sure if discussing the issue of local government getting part of that property tax. That property tax.
Well, not anymore, because this government has already made it clear that they are going to also destroy property taxes. Right? They've already said they're going to remove it. Right? And the challenge that we have been having is that every time the PNM puts forward these progressive policies, the opposition will take it to court. It'll end up going to the Privy Council, which sets everything back for years. People ask, well, why didn't you implement it in 10 years? Because the opposition had been stymieing it in the courts for that entire time. So you can, at every step you move forward, they try to move it back. And that is what has been happening. And then as soon as they get into office, heaven forbid, they completely destroy it. So when the PNM is back in office, you have to start over again from scratch. And that is the merry-go-round that we've been on as a country for far too long, for almost several decades now.
But Mr. Manning, can I ask a question? As you mentioned that before, I just like your trend of thought there. A government coming in and removing all of those things, knowing fully well that we don't have the revenue, surely they must be seeing something different. And I don't know what it is, but I know they probably have some other form of stream. Maybe they are looking at where revenue is concerned and collection. What are your thoughts on situations like that as to why they probably may have stopped and removed some of these things? Because it can't just be just to fulfill election promises.
I think he's frozen.
Oh.
Yeah. Mr. Manning, are you there? He's definitely frozen. Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely frozen. So I don't know if he could log out and log back in, Mr. Manning, if you're hearing us. But Sir Charles, I mean, you basically answered your own question there. That's how it is. It's just to fulfill election promises. Because I can't imagine why else would they take decisions like that, knowing it is going to affect them at the end of the day.
But that's what I'm saying, because you can't be. Mr. Manning is showing the spot.
He's back?
Yes, he is.
Right, we got you back.
Yeah, sorry for that, gentlemen. I'm having some technical issues with my laptop this morning.
That happens to all of us at some point in time. Yeah, because I can't see them a government wanting to shoot themselves in the foot. And unless you plan to just be a one-term government.
Have you met the United National Congress? Have you met these fine people? That is exactly what they have done. The problem is that they were so busy in opposition, opposing every good thing for this country, that now they've backed themselves into an economic corner because they can't be against Indian businessmen investing in Trinidad and Tobago for 10 years, against Sandals project, against Dragon Deal, against the smelter, against all of these projects that were designed to increase revenues, against the TTRA, all right? And the previous government knew what we were doing. We knew that these projects were essential to the economy and the future of Trinidad and Tobago. So they knew it too. So they had to oppose it, which they did. And now that they're in government, they're having a hard time coming up with measures that will save and protect this economy. They have backed themselves into this corner themselves. Now I'm hearing the Minister of Finance proposing a tax on assets for the financial institutions in this country. That is pure madness. That is a tax that is not even based on performance. It basically is a fixed cost to the entire banking system of Trinidad and Tobago, which of course is going to increase interest rates, it's going to increase banking fees, and it's going to increase the overall cost of living in Trinidad and Tobago, simply because these fine people did not allow a TTRA, which would have allowed people who are now dodging taxes to pay their fair share of taxation. And that's all the TTRA was meant to do.
Yeah. So, I mean, we are assuming or presuming that some of these things will not. How do you think that they're going to fix these issues in the upcoming budget? Because budget is a week or two away.
I don't think that they are. What this government is going to do is continue to kick the can down the road. They're going to have probably going to have a massive amount of debt, maybe record level debt in terms of a deficit budget. They're going to have to reach into the HSF, which has shown its best performance in the last few years under P&M administration. So that is really what they can do in the short term. And we said so early on that they have eliminated every short and medium term opportunity to increase revenues in this country. They've canceled them all. So, and that means that the next few years in this country are going to be very, very difficult for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. They keep running Trinidad and Tobago's economy as if it were a corner store, a corner parlor. It is not. You can't just decide to cut costs and think that's going to save you. When the government cuts costs or cuts making payments, it slows the economy. Entire industries could disappear. There's massive unemployment, as they've shown with the URP and CPA programs. All this nonsense about we're trying to investigate corruption. There was no need to fire everyone to investigate corruption or to audit the URP or the CPEP. It's simply because they lack the funding, they lack resources, because they put themselves in this situation. And sadly, thousands of people in this country are going to have to suffer for it.
Yeah. Well, was that in fact how I should put it, an expenditure issue? Because you would have heard that reason given for the cancellation of Independence Day. You're also now hearing that reason being given for the cancellation of the contract for bodyguards.
No, that wasn't.
Is it a way of saving money?
That wasn't the excuse. The excuse was what, that they were all in jeopardy, not so that there was some.
But that was the first
security.
Excuse. That was the first excuse.
Right, yeah. So Independence Day celebration was dangerous, but linemen at cricket wasn't dangerous. Right? All of them being gathered in the parliament is not dangerous. Having a Monday night forum with all of them gathered together, that is not dangerous. But having Independence Day celebration is somehow all of a sudden dangerous.
Yeah.
It is a funding issue across the board. They just don't want to say so. And it is an issue that is caused by them and their myopia. And I mean, shutting down the TTR is expected to add $10 billion annually in revenues. That could have easily paid salary increases for the entire public service. Easily. It could have easily funded aspects of local government that now are desperate for funding. And this is without additional debt, without having to borrow that money from the banking system, without having to borrow it internationally or to dip into the HSF. But because they have decided to starve themselves of these resources, they are now going to sink this country into a measure of debt that maybe our grandchildren will be paying off. And it's sad to see, because the previous administration, the Minister of Finance and the Ministry of Finance went to great lengths to ensure that our debt for deficit budgets stayed between a certain level, so that it would not get out of hand and so that we could manage and maintain a stable economy. That is out the window now with these people.
Well, how then do you explain the fact that the government announced through the Minister of Rural Development and Local Government an increase as of October 1st for councillors' assistants from 3,000 to 3,009, an increase from councillors' office rent from 2,005 to 3,005, and an increase from councillors' stipend for stationery from 1,000 to 2,000.
Yeah,
because that was announced.
It's all window dressing. What about the number of people who access corporation work? That is far more important, right, than a councillor stipend. Are we going to be allowed more persons getting corporation work, getting whatever it is, fortnightly payment, 10 days, whatever it is? And that's what we need. What we are seeing across the country right now is rampant unemployment, almost desperate unemployment. And that doesn't address any of it. Instead of doing what is right and having the funding so that we can keep people employed and keep them being productive and contributing to the economy of Trinidad and Tobago, all we're getting is window dressing. A few dollars more here for one group, a few dollars more here for another group, but nothing that is meaningful or long-lasting. Right? We have 10-foot tall bush in San Fernando, parts of San Fernando East, and across the southern parts of Trinidad and Tobago. It's just that their UNC MPs won't come out and say anything about it. But local government has essentially collapsed in Trinidad and Tobago due to a lack of funding.
Well, it collapsed a while now, Mr. Manning, because simply because we have been putting people to head corporations who just, I'm afraid, not suited. You understand? We have a lot of people in corporations now who just sitting there doing nothing. They have to make it happen. Because
and during the last local government election, we admitted that. We said that local government is broken, and we ran on the platform of reform. And that is exactly what we were doing. And a large part of that reform was, of course, collecting property taxes, which was a massive effort. I was the lead on that effort at the Ministry of Finance. And we had to use a lot of legacy information, legacy systems, the valuation process. It went to court. People were resisting. There was a lot involved. But eventually, as you saw, we collected payment from about 150,000 residential households. And then from there, we would have gone on to collect taxes from the various corporations in Trinidad and Tobago, and then from the agricultural lands that were available. If everyone pays a small amount, it allows us to take care of these issues that benefit all of us. And that is what we've been saying from the very beginning.
Yeah. All right. Are you open to taking some calls from our listeners?
Sure, why not?
All right. So, Sean, all these people who are on the chat have a lot of opinions. You can call 2811315, 2995153. Did I get that second number correct, Chad?
Yes, you did. 2995153. And unlike on the chat where you're just throwing up all different kinds of things, ask a proper question.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Yeah, if you ask a proper question, you might get an answer.
No improper proposals.
Yeah, because sometimes you're just throwing up all kinds of things, half questions, and nobody doing that. Ask a question. But what I would like to find out, Mr. Manning, government coming in, making promises. Okay, so to get labor on your side, to get other individuals on your side, to get into power, definitely you had to do some bargaining. So you have to keep certain promises.
Some misleading, you said?
No, I did not say anything like that. Bargaining. All right. So with a situation like that, okay, so you have to cut back on certain things to keep these persons of interest happy within this whole coalition. Is it that maybe because we're hearing certain types of conversations taking place with other individuals in Kuwait and in India and those other things that the government probably feels may bear fruit down the road? So at this point in time, maybe we may borrow until or continue the deficit budget until we get that money going down the road.
That's the challenge. That's the challenge. If you borrow, it means you have to repay that money. And we have $1 billion US bond that is due next year for this country. And we in the PNM have been managing the economy, ensuring that things like the reopening of the refinery to Awando would have taken place, the Dragon deal, which was progressing, which would have also added significant foreign exchange to the supplies of this country. We had the Exim Bank. What the Exim Bank was designed to do, to ensure that those businesses that were earning foreign exchange, mainly manufacturers in this country, would have had access to foreign exchange. And that only makes sense. You want the people who are generating foreign exchange to have first access to receiving foreign exchange to purchase their supplies and whatever else. We were doing all of that. Now the Prime Minister is on public record attempting to villainize the business community of this country, the very same people who we have to depend on to generate foreign exchange, because they are not willing to put the blame where it belongs, which is on themselves. And I also blame some of the trade unions also, because we would expect a certain level of intelligence from our trade union movement to ask, if these people make all of these ridiculous promises, where's the money coming from to support these promises? And that is the problem when you have politicized trade unions and trade union leadership. We have people in the trade union movement, especially in the PSA, who are more concerned about their own personal interests and serving their UNC masters.
Mr. Manning, well, they have real problems with the PSA, you know. But hold your thoughts 1 minute. Hold your thoughts 1 minute.
And that is going to damage their membership and the people of this country.
Hold on 1 minute, Mr. Manning, right? Sure. Caller, go ahead, very quickly.
Good morning, Mr. Charles. Good morning, Wendell.
Morning to you, sir.
Morning.
Yeah. You know, long I'm calling here. You see, what happened here personally, with this taxing, with the problem we face in this country now, a lot of so-called people who supposed to have voices, they was playing games so much. For the 10 years, the UNC was opposing everything. They trying to pay them to court. Every month you see this fella they call Ravi Balbubin Singh and Ram Logan.
Exactly.
They pay them under everything.
Everything.
Now, I pay all my taxes. I pay my property tax because I know that is law. Because all over the world, you pay taxes. But the kind of houses the supporters of the UNC have, they never want to pay no property tax. On one piece of land, you have 5 or 6 houses and things, you know. That's why they were against that and they put the money behind that. So that is what's going on in this place now. We don't have reach drag and hold, you know.
Yep.
I'm waiting to see what when this budget comes. Because
Okay.
I'm going to stop buying papers. I'm going to stop paying flow.
All right. Okay, no problem. Thanks very much, Mr. Grant.
They put the country in that position where you don't have to consider, what
but
it is
Mr. Manning,
you're going to be going forward.
Yeah, I mean, it is something that I think that the PNM always had a problem with in terms of communicating what you are communicating here this morning, all the different projects that were in place that would have benefited this country in the long run. Somehow or the other, it didn't resonate with the people, and they were able to run down 10% increase, no property tax, and all these grandiose plans that the UNC had. They were able to buy into that as opposed to the sober plans that the People's National Movement that you talked about. Because we are now hearing too, we would have heard a promise to restart Petrotrin. Surely that has to be one of the most foolhardy decisions that our government could make.
Well, I mean, remember we had gone through a process and we had decided on Oando from Nigeria, who were willing to purchase the assets of the former Petrotrin refinery and restart it and have access to oil to be refined at the plant. Okay, so that would have generated additional foreign exchange revenues. But this government came in and canceled everything. Even if they decided to start again from now, it's still going to be a process that could take several years for us to even begin to see revenue from such a project. Whether they found another source of oil and gas, whether they decided to reopen the refinery from now, it would still take 3 to 4 years before this country saw any revenues. So what are we supposed to do between now and then? Continue kick the can down the road, borrow money.
That's what we're going to borrow, Mr. Manning. Caller, good morning to you.
Have $15 billion deficit budgets. I mean, that is insanity.
Hold 1 minute here, Mr. Manning. We have the caller on line. Hold 1 minute. Caller, go ahead.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Gentleman again. Mr. Manning, there's something going about with concerning the NIS. Now, we know the NIB is challenged with respect to payouts, and the projection from the board of the NIB is that in 8 years it will be exhausted. But there's a series of videos going on where a gentleman saying that with the age of 65, everybody who decides to apply for NIS before 65, there will be a 6%
penalty
levy against you for every year. And I was at pains to explain to our friend that is nonsense. And it is out there like wildfire, panicking people and saying that people are paid into the NIB and it will be so unfair if this 6% will be levied upon them. Could you, for God's sake, bring some levity to that argument? Even though I told my friend that is nonsense, but I'm glad you're here. Could you bring some levity with respect to, once and for all, the access to NIB pensions once you become eligible, having the 750 plus contributions? Grateful and thanks for your intervention as usual.
Yeah, thank you. The challenge with the NIB and the retirement fund is that we have demographic issues, which is people are having less and less children, so we have a smaller workforce, but people are living longer, so we have a larger retirement population. So to fix the NIB, you have to, which the government is going to have to do, in my view, you're going to have to increase contributions, which means increasing taxes. You're going to have to end up paying higher NIS every month. Also, to decrease the benefits, you can do that by expanding the workforce, which is why many countries right now want to move retirement age from 60 to 65. Jamaica's already done it. Barbados has already done it. And if you work till 65, you would receive full benefits. And that is really what they're trying to do, to expand the workforce so that the fund will be around for generations to come. Without that, and also without access to US dollars for the fund to be able to invest internationally for higher returns to meet its obligations, the fund is probably going to go bust. These guys on the other side, when they were in opposition, consistently said that the fund was being mismanaged and that the PNM was destroying the fund. And now they're in a situation where it has become urgent, and they're going to have no choice but to increase the benefits and also to raise the retirement age. I guarantee you that.
All right, we have a caller online. Caller, good morning to you. Welcome.
Hello, morning.
Yeah, go ahead, caller.
Mr. Manning, the public service 10%, is that a reality? And if it is a reality, what does the government have to do to make that a reality?
From what I have seen, and that's a good question. From what I have seen, it would cost government approximately $10 billion in a one-off payment for that 10% increase for the previous period. $10 billion. And it would add at least somewhere around $1 billion annually in recurrent expenditure. $1 billion. So you're paying a lump sum of $10 billion to settle the previous periods, and then you're going to have to pay $1 billion going forward every year for additional increases. How is that possible in this economic environment? Where's that $10 billion coming from after you cancel the TTRA? You want to cancel property taxes, you cancel the Dragon deal, you cancel the reopening of Petrotrin refinery, you cancel the smelter, you cancel sandals, right? You cancel the Indian businessmen who are coming here to make investments in this country in terms of financial payments and so on. You cancel every major revenue generating project. You tie it up in courts. You had your people all over the place crying it down, saying the smelter will kill people and poison entire communities, which is nonsense. So how it is they're going to pay for these promises now? And the answer is they can't. All they're going to do is have to borrow and dip into the HSF, both of which are unattractive and unhelpful to our economy.
Yeah.
But there is an article today where certain economists are warning the government not to use the HSF for recurrent expenditure.
They could warn all they want. Where they want the money to come from? Right? These same economists were busy not holding the opposition to account when they were talking nonsense before. And I don't know if you remember during COVID, there was one economist who said that the government should right-size the public sector in the middle of COVID, which meant basically firing a large segment of public sector employees in the middle of COVID. And this is the thing that I think a lot of people, including this government, don't understand about running an economy. If I fire 40,000 CPEP and URP and forestry workers, it isn't like those people are just off the books and they disappear. These are some of the most vulnerable people in this country, economically vulnerable. They're going to end up on public assistance. They're going to end up in social welfare. So you're going to end up paying for them anyway. At least in CPEP and URP, they were doing something productive, right? And I'm glad that people today can see just how valuable CPEP and URP workers were to this country. Because now that they have 10-foot tall grass all over the place and drains not cleaned and garbage not collected, all of a sudden people can see the use and purpose of CPEP workers. So they're finally getting, I think, the respect.
You never get to miss the water until the well run right.
Exactly. So instead of having these people doing productive activities for taxpayers' money, now you have them on social development and social services, collecting a check for doing what every month. And it doesn't make any sense. That is not how you run an economy. This is not some small business somewhere. You have to consider those ramifications.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Mr. Manning, we have to leave it at this point in time. We really want to thank you very much for chiming in on the conversation and of course, making yourself available to us here on Net Radio. We really appreciate it.
Always. I really appreciate being on. I'm just glad that Wendell didn't blight TTRA this year in the cricket. So I appreciate that. So anytime Wendell calls now, I will actually answer his call because even though he supported the cricket, we still won. So I appreciate that.
I will leave you alone with sports for now.
Thank you very much, and please,
All the best, gentlemen.
please,
All the best, Trinidad and
as you
Tobago.
go,
Have a
please,
wonderful day.
as you go, please give your mom our greetings. All right.
I will. Thank you so much.
All right.
All the
take
best,
care.
everyone.
All right, bye bye. Of course, I still get a prayer from his mom every single morning. A prayer and a song of praise. She will always add a song of praise to it. Every single morning.
Yeah, she's such a peaceful lady.
Yeah.
All right. So, people, we are going for the 8 o'clock news, and we will be back.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is Net Radio News Now.
This is News Now on New Era TT Radio and Guile Caribbean. I'm Derek. Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar has been voted the People's Choice for Caribbean Global Leader at this year's Caribbean Global Awards in London. She topped a field that included Barbados' Mia Mottley, St. Vincent's Ralph Gonsalves, Jamaica's Andrew Holness, and Guyana's President Irfan Ali. Gonsalves placed second and Motley third. Persad-Bissessar could not attend the ceremony as she was at the UN General Assembly in New York, but in a recorded message she dedicated the award to the people of Trinidad and Tobago and the wider Caribbean, saying unity is the region's greatest strength. She called the honor especially meaningful because it came from the people and urged leaders to lift up vulnerable children, stressing that resilience is the Caribbean's inheritance. Acting Prime Minister Jerlian John has hailed Kamla Persad-Bissessar as a brave patriot for her bold address at the United Nations. Speaking from New York, Persad-Bissessar rejected the notion of the Caribbean as a zone of peace, warning about drugs, guns, and human trafficking. John said the Prime Minister told the world the truth and urged CARICOM leaders to reflect on the threat of gangs replacing governments. She added that Persad-Bissessar's bilateral meetings signal that Trinidad and Tobago is open for business, with interest from Qatar, Kuwait, and the UAE. John, serving as acting Prime Minister for the first time, also brushed aside talk of UNC succession, stressing Persad-Bissessar remains firmly in charge. Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar's statement at the UN General Assembly that the Caribbean is no zone of peace has sparked mixed reactions. She argued the region faces violent crime, gang activity, and narco-trafficking, praising U.S. military support against cartels. Political analyst Dr. Winford James disagreed, saying Venezuela has not attacked its neighbors, and the PN's language implies war. International relations expert Dr. Anthony Gonzalez said her support of U.S. lethal strikes against traffickers raises legal and humanitarian concerns. However, political scientist Dr. Bishnu Raghunath partly backed her, noting TNT's unique challenges, porous borders, and over 100,000 Venezuelan migrants. He questioned what Caribbean leaders really mean when they call the region a zone of peace. Several vessels seized by the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard have vanished without explanation, raising serious questions about accountability and oversight. A board of inquiry was ordered last year after two pirogues, Tell Me and Emmanuel, disappeared from the Coast Guard's Hearts Cut base. 16 officers testified, but insiders say little came from the probe, aside from staff transfers. Sources reveal these two boats are just the beginning, with as many as 10 others also missing from secure compounds in recent years. Some vessels have reportedly been repainted and even sold while still in custody. Officers warn that without a proper inventory or secure storage system, seized vessels, often key evidence in drug or human trafficking cases, slip away unnoticed. Both the Defense Minister and the Coast Guard's commanding officer have so far failed to respond to questions. Police Commissioner Alistair Guevara has reached his first 100 days in office, and reviews from the public are mixed. A Newsday poll found many citizens say they feel safer since Guevara assumed duty in June, praising him as a boss, and way better than his predecessor, with some even crediting him for a drop in crime. Others said it's still too early to judge, stressing that he does not have a magic wand, but has shown strong leadership so far. However, not everyone is convinced. Critics argue nothing has changed in policing strategy, with some saying they feel just as unsafe as before. For now, Guevaro's stewardship continues to divide opinion between those encouraged by early progress and others waiting for real results. The Court of Appeal has dismissed Uticot's challenge to a $1.8 million compensation award for a former employee, upholding the industrial court's ruling that her dismissal was harsh and oppressive. The case involved Sharma Ramutarbudu, whose 2016 termination was brought before the court by the NUGFW. The industrial court awarded her $1.8 million, finding she was unfairly treated. Uticot appealed only the compensation amount, but Justices Mark Mohammed, Rani Budu Singh, and James Abood ruled that the Industrial Relations Act bars appeals on both findings of harsh dismissal and the remedies awarded. Delivering the judgment, Justice Budu Singh said the industrial court's decision was careful, detailed, and well supported, describing Uticot's actions as egregious and utterly unfair. Finally, in international news, Russia launched a massive overnight assault on Ukraine, killing at least 4 people and injuring more than 70. Kyiv was hit hardest, with a 12-year-old girl among the dead. Ukraine's Air Force said Russia fired nearly 600 drones and 48 missiles, with most intercepted, but civilian areas, including homes, a medical facility, and a kindergarten, were struck. President Volodymyr Zelensky condemned the attack, saying it showed Moscow's determination to keep fighting. Poland scrambled fighter jets as the strikes reached western Ukraine, raising concerns about spillover into NATO territory. The bombardment comes just a day after Zelensky announced a major $90 billion U.S. weapons deal to strengthen Ukraine's defense. And that's news at this time.
That was News Now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Don't miss Furniture Plus Inventory Blowout Sale. Get up to 65% off in-store and online. Enjoy massive savings on furniture, appliances, and more. Hurry, this deal won't last. Shop now and save big at Furniture Plus.
Charm Flair Auto Services Limited, your one-stop auto repair shop. Located at number 1 Industrial Lane, Charm Flair, right opposite the brewery on the Eastern Main Road. Yes, we do it all. Repairs to all makes and models, from your everyday sedan to SUVs, light trucks, pickups, and panel vans. We're also the sole distributors of Davante tires, certified VTS inspection station, plus a wide range of services: oil change, front end and suspension repairs, tune-ups, tire alignment, batteries, electrical work, radiator and cooling system, AC repairs, and accessories galore. We offer pickup and drop-off service too. Call us today at 662-6545 or 662-6572. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Charm Flair Auto Services Limited, number 1 Industrial Lane, Charm Flair. We do it all.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
right, time to close off today, Monday. Of course, tomorrow is the last day of September.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy.
And
30 days of September.
Yeah, you realize before 6 now in the afternoon, it's dark already.
Yeah, well, remember it was changing.
Yeah, it's dark already, you know.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Yeah. I can't remember the words.
Yeah. People will
I'll
put
sing for you all one day.
We'll put on a mini concert for you guys before the Christmas.
I'll do a Christmas concert for you all and we'll invite people to call in.
We could do a mini concert. We could do a mini concert. Richard and you and I coming up to Christmas. We'll sing our favorite Christmas song. For the people.
And invite people to sing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I just have one little Mrs. R. She gone? Let me see if she come off the chat already. She come off the chat? She must be gone. I want to tell her one thing. Mrs. R, nothing ain't going to stop me from saying local government reform is a hoax. Was a hoax and is still a hoax. As long as local government is not part of the constitution, all the talk about empowering them and financing them and whatever is a hoax.
Yeah.
Right.
And you know, listening to because we have a couple of minutes before we go, listening to Mr. Manning there. Now Mr. Manning have real beef with PSA, but the PSA.
I don't blame him, no. PSA caused that upon themselves, you know.
Nobody remember.
They get through. I just say they get through.
No, but what I'm saying is,
government minister.
Yeah, but the PSA has always been against that TTRA thing. There is no secret. Yeah, so it's not like they went against that because of the government. They were fighting against that against the PNM for a long while.
That's true. That's true.
They went to Privy Council and all kind of thing with that. You understand?
That is true. That is true.
So now that a new administration come in and they would have sat down and say, well, here we want all their support. The PSA will most likely say, okay, well, we give you support, but if all they do win, you see that we want that go. Because we've been fighting against that, and that is also, I don't know why it seems so strange, and we want to get vexed with the PSA. The PSA never wanted it.
Well, I mean, maybe it's because whilst they were against the revenue authority, they weren't always that very publicly political, but they became very political down in the end there. I think because they sensed the tide was going against the PNM. You understand?
And then you see but as far as you know, yes, the TTRA would have improved government revenues and taxes, but apparently, I don't know if it's job classification or what people were doing. You know, people were comfortable within this space, and they did not want to change over to that TTRA. They just didn't want to go. It was like getting the police to put on body cams.
Yeah.
The TTRA was like that.
Surprisingly, Sir Charles, when the property tax was actually implemented, quite a bit of people went on paying, including myself.
Well,
quite a bit of people, despite the fact that they were
quite a bit is a small percentage too.
Yeah.
Of civic-minded PNM people.
No, people are the old man, not just PNM people.
Civic-minded people. PNM people want to pay the property tax, and half of them wants to do it now, like Miss Sampson. Miss Sampson, good morning to you anyhow. Yeah, only support the government. Only support all the government. Boom! All they run and pay property tax. To show all the government.
I go back my refund now.
Yeah, no refund for you now.
I want back my refund. Anyway, thanks for keeping us aware and informed on the chat. To all the people who chatted with us this morning, even whoever Sean Soka feel is, but you just need to get your libelous. Which a place to be selling for 150 million Sean Soka feel. You're just feeling to be mischievous.
Yeah. And the thing about it is, you know, the thing about it is that they just say things. They just have no backing. They can't even tell you where they read it. If it was in the newspaper here, a lot of it is just
libelous statements.
Or it can be reckless, man. Mm-hmm.
You know? And DL, I see you take on the role of Ram Narish, but with a lot more respect. Thank you. I don't mind the challenges every now and then. I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all, actually. You know?
Yeah, just be respectful. and factual. That's all we ask you to do. Be respectful and factual.
Hey, Melchizedek, Charles showing his jockey shorts.
That's what Melchizedek said about me. you see, that is the thing about these PNM supporters like Melchizedek and them. You know, from the time you don't agree with what they're saying, they're gonna vex with you.
You're assuming the PNM.
But look, he just accusing me of one thing. You understand?
Just jockey short showing.
Well, right, you understand?
Are you saying you are UNC, Sir Charles?
Anyhow, I'm working from home. I have one.
Anyway, folks, have an absolutely wonderful day. Remember to let go and let God. One life.
Hopefully, Richard will be back with us tomorrow.
Yeah, he'll be with us tomorrow.
After he done digest all the corn.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
All right, people, this has been your breakfast. So stay with us on New Era TT Radio. Remember, we are streaming all day, every day at newerattradio.com, New Era TT Radio on TuneIn, so you can get us on Alexa and, of course, all your Google devices. And I forgot to tell you guys that on the platforms and even on the videos that you see when you go back to YouTube, besides just liking and subscribe, there's a thing called support. You know, there's a support button on all of the channels. So, you know, we need your support to keep us outside here too, you know, because at the end of the day, we are not millionaires, right, Wendell?
Definitely not.
We need your support, and we depend on our people to keep us. If all they want us to stay outside here, support that. So hit the like and support the channels, right? In any which way that you can. It's up to you guys. Okay. So having said that, this has been
The Breakfast Show.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The Breakfast Show got the vibes turned.